Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video today. I was just meeting with my younger brother and he said like, have you noticed what's happening in the USA? Like on Congress they're talking about UFOs, they're discussing the flying objects. A whistleblower is talking about the hidden information from the military. And I was like, oh, I have to check it out. So I went to check it out and I've noticed like everybody's talking about it, like it's something new. Like it is something new. And still, so often we may wonder like why we feel so drawn into this information and we feel like it's something new. Have you ever wondered why you feel so drawn to all those what they call conspiracy theories and all this ancient information and all those interesting updates about what the history is revealing to us, and we are like, are we truly alone here? Are we truly alone? Because if we look, if we go into ancient Egypt, for example, we find this in the pyramids. Like we find those kind of things and we're like, what is that? You see there's some aircrafts, like an airplane, helicopter, things like that. We find those things and we may say, well, we are right now at the peak of our intelligence and at the peak of our technological evolution. But then we go back into history and we recognize, well, it was all here before. We are not discovering anything new. And still some people think like we are alone in this vast universe. Do you think that we are alone? Let me know in the comment section, because you see, what they are not telling you. What they are not telling you, they're not telling you the real history. When I first came across the work of Greg Braden, I was really amazed, as I've noticed, well, the history as I knew before, as it was introduced to me, may not be really how it was introduced to me. They found out that our DNA was manipulated in the past. And it's already quite a mystery, like what happened there. If somebody manipulated our DNA, therefore that somebody needed to know a little bit more than we knew, so they could make that kind of a progress onto our DNA. And if we study some more history, we recognize that there's many ancient texts that are describing this process of DNA manipulation. And it's so interesting, when we go back into the history, we notice that it was never hidden from us. We were just not looking for it. So when all this new information is coming out about UFOs, about flying objects, it's all presented to us like, oh look, something new is happening. But actually, it's all just a game. It's all just a game. We're like being presented with that new information for some entertainment, for some distraction. So we would not evolve our consciousness to the degree that we would freely and naturally communicate with all those different races of intelligence. Because if you listen to anyone who had encounters or who said that they had encounters with those beings, they always say the same thing. They were speaking to me telepathically. So what does it mean? It means that they can project their thoughts into your consciousness. And it means that if you would learn to project your thoughts into somebody else's consciousness, you could speak telepathically to somebody. And you're already doing that, just that you're not aware of it. So it just reminds us of what we have within, but we don't know that we have it. You know, the technology that we have, that Mother Nature provided to us, that this great cosmos and evolution of time and expansion of intelligence of this field we're living in, gave it, as we're all just, you know, fractal particles here experiencing ourselves in all kinds of different unique individual ways, but still it's all just a part of one consciousness. So basically when we're talking with somebody, we're talking to ourselves in another body. And then we think, with all that complexity there is to life, we think we are the only ones here. So there are jokes, you know, crossing on the internet, where one cell, we just need to look at everything as this is a game. And as you're leveling up, you will eventually be able to enter into the dimensions where truth will be revealed to you. But you have to earn it. It doesn't happen just out of nothing. You have to earn it. And to earn that kind of ability means that you have to practice it. You have to practice certain virtues in your life, so you can develop a discipline that can help you to detach from constant distractions and in tune with your natural intelligence that you've been born with. And that natural intelligence then will say to you, hey, you have to purify your body. You have to let go of what is not healthy for you. You have to take care of your thoughts, and even you have to take care of the words you're saying. Words are spells. That's why it's called spelling. And more we become aware of what we're doing in our daily lives, more we recognize how important our ability to think freely is. Especially when somebody may distract you with anything, you will notice suddenly you're thinking about all kinds of nonsense. How important your ability to think freely is. Because once you're able to direct your thoughts into only certain specific thing that is important to you, suddenly you will get so many incredible ideas how to improve it. And that's where you will start to understand the vastness of our capabilities. And you will notice, well, if I would use my imagination more wisely, I could actually transform my life completely. And that's what they are not telling you. When they are giving you those glimpses of UFOs and non-human interactions and so on, we already know all of that. When I was reading the work of Dolores Canon, for example, she was guiding people into meditation. She was doing like past life regression therapies, where she was guiding people, her clients, into meditative state, where at some point they've started exploring memories that were quite below the surface of their conscious rememberings. And what became really interesting, that all these memories were from different planets, different places. Sometimes they were not even remembering their human bodies, but other bodies, and they were, you know, interacting with all kinds of different beings. And she had so many different, you know, those kind of sessions with so many different people, so many recordings of those kind of regressions, where she was writing in her books then the stories. And it's really interesting, like how much of of this information is actually out there, but we're just not paying attention to it because we've been too distracted. But it's out, it's accessible to all of us, and they're not telling you that. They will give you those glimpses, and they will say, oh, look at that. What's important is for you to focus on yourself and evolve in your own intelligence. So one day, those beings may come to you and actually learn something from you. Because you don't even know how wise you are. You don't even know how capable you are. You don't even know what's your potential. And my wish for all of you is to start investigating your own potential. And you will notice that maybe if you would pay more attention to yourself and you would invest more time into your own evolution, you will become much more interesting for anyone who would actually like to learn how to develop our gifts as human beings. Just maybe all those non-human beings that are coming visiting us, or maybe just us from the future. Just some time ago, me and Maya went to watch the movie Indiana Jones, where in the movie they are using the technology where they mistakenly used it in a bit of a wrong way, and they went back into time 2000 years. So they came into the middle of the war of Roman emperor, I think. And what was interesting, you know, when they were fighting on the horses and ships, they came into this timeline with airplanes. And all those, you know, soldiers were like, oh, what's going on? But now when we look back and we see this kind of things, like here we can find them in pyramids all around the world. We find this kind of things. We may ask ourselves, oh, maybe it happened in the past. We never know. But even if some people know, they will not tell you, because for some people it would be too crazy. For some people it would be a reason to, you know, to fall out. So we need to be really aware of what history is teaching us. That's why I always say to study history, study life. And notice that you're not here alone. You're not here alone. Even if you would just go into exploration of your own biology, you would see that there's so much life within your body that you would be impressed. What you're carrying around every single day, you would be impressed by that. You would not have a need to look outside of you, because you would be so impressed what lives within you right now. All the cells, even the atoms, you know, all the bacteria, everything that's happening so your body can function well. And then we wonder, well, somebody needed to build that intelligence up, because as it was recorded from the history, life on this planet started with a single cell. And that single cell through time evolved into what we see. So when we look at all of that from a different perspective, we notice, well, maybe it's not so important what's happening on the news, but actually what's happening within ourselves. Let's understand this a little bit better, because only that way we can develop our understanding to the degree that once maybe some intelligent beings, when they come to you, visiting you, you will actually have something to talk with them. So, you see, this is an interesting topic. And thanks to my brother bringing it on. And also thanks to the David Grush, the whistleblower who went out, thanks to his bravery, his courage. It's not easy. You see, I remember in the past, even 2 years ago, I posted few videos, or 3 years ago, I've posted few videos about David Icke, because I was interested, and he has a lot of interesting things to say. And when you see what people think about it, it's like they think it's crazy. They think it's not real. But now when, when people like David Grush come out and talk about this with some evidence, it's now, people are not now wondering what else is out there, right? What else is out there? And it's great. It's great to open up our questioning, so we can also start searching for new knowledge, to recognize that life is not so narrow that we thought it is. To wake up, to go at your job, to make money, to buy food, to go to sleep, and to wake up, and so on and so on. Life is not, or shouldn't be, so boring. But we have to recognize how to change it so it becomes exciting, so it becomes adventurous. And all those things can put us onto a new adventure, because there's a reason we feel drawn into this stuff. And the reason is that deep inside we know that there's truth to it. Maybe not everything. And even as more and more of this information is coming out, also at some point, most probably media may use this information to manipulate you once again. Like, oh, be aware, if you see those crafts, you have to prepare because they are attacking us. All kinds of things may happen on the media. So we have to be aware what is real, what is the truth. And you can only find the truth if you study life. And a lot of life is recorded in our history. And by questioning, by setting the right questions, you will be guided to the answers, right? When the student is ready, the teacher will come. So my friends, I hope you found something valuable today. A wonderful topic. I've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings and power. Stay beautiful. Until next time, one love.